Good afternoon. Thank you guys for logging on. This is a table for queens. We are still speaking on Over the Fence by Mary Monroe. Last year I'm saying last year, forgive me guys. Last week we did speak on a few chapters, but if you notice as you're reading this book, it's just building up to the climax of how each character really is. We didn't have Dr. Ware on last week, so she's here for the joint discussion this week. So we're going to piggyback and let her know some of the things that we talked about. And always remember, like, comment, and strive. Basically, this book is speaking on the dynamics of relationships. It's speaking on the unity of marriage, but it also is speaking on the lesser of two evils. What do we bring out and what do we bring to the table in these relationships? We are talking about two pivotal relationships, the relationships between Odell and Joyce, and we're also talking about the relationship between Milton and Yvonne. When we first started talking about the book, is the total dynamic of how did Milton and Yvonne meet, the reason how they got together. Okay, so we have been seeing a lot of things on social media, and lately everybody has been posting things about when you wrong, and when you right, you right. And this book really does cover a lot of things like that. So, Dr. Ware, last week we asked one of the questions: which character do you like the most?
Which do I like the most? I think Yvonne. I think I'm pulling toward Yvonne. Yvonne is an honest person, though she has a flaw, but she takes a lot. She try to be as nice as she possibly can. She trusting. Uh, she don't try to hurt nobody's feelings, even though her feelings be torn down all the time. And I think I'm gearing toward Yvonne.
Okay.
She's herself. She's herself.
Okay, Kim and Donna also said the same thing. They like Yvonne. I like Yvonne, but I think I'm pulling more toward Joyce. I like Yvonne, but the only thing that, to me, Yvonne and Joyce is just alike. I really do believe they're just alike, and I think they would be great friends if they tore down some of those walls. And if we notice, Milton gets a lot in Yvonne's ear, and that's what I don't like about Yvonne. She does not handle her responsibilities as she should. She looks down on Joyce, but Joyce also looks down on Yvonne. But I think both of these are great characters, and I think it shows us how we can have so much in common with someone, but it also can push us away from people. If you pay attention in this book, if you have noticed, we have really seen the dynamics of Milton and Yvonne. And Yvonne is sweet. Yvonne is teachable. That's what I love about Yvonne. She does not mind learning new things, and then she does see the best in people. But the lesser of two evils, we also discussed who we did not like. So before I touch on that, Doctor, and since you weren't here last week, which character that do you like the least?
Milton. Milton. Milton is in my eyesight is no better than um Odell.
Mm-mm.
Milton is kind of worse than Odell. Milton is a blackmailer. Milton is a liar. Milton is a thief. Milton is a cheater. Milton is everything. I don't like him. He's the least.
I agree. Out of everybody in this book, I don't like Milton. Milton does not have anything good about him. First coming on, I liked him Milton because I thought, okay, he protecting Yvonne. I didn't like, everybody got a flaw. I didn't like some fact that he was a thief, but Milton don't even care about Yvonne. Milton only married Yvonne because Yvonne accepted his flaw, and you can see as you read in the book, because even when he called out Odell saying Odell cheating, you had to pay attention and let us know Milton is a cheater. Because he was like, when most men cheat on their wife, they don't say that. He's talking about Odell dumb and he calling, but what he don't pay attention to, and I think a lot of people don't pay attention to in this book, he uses Yvonne to his advantage. Every time she starts suspecting things, he telling him don't feel good, he got a headache. He's just a deceiver. He don't care about nobody or help nobody but Willie Frank. And that's only because if he didn't have Willie Frank, he would not have a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yvonne is a business partner to him. He don't love Yvonne. I really thought he loved Yvonne. Started reading off this book. I really did. And then when he realized that, oh, Yvonne is a thief like I am, and then he manipulates Yvonne, and she believes him. But she puts Joyce down for the same thing. She puts Joyce down for the same thing, and her and Joyce is just alike.
And
The,
one thing about it is though that um Yvonne, she never throw rocks first. Joyce always throwing rock first. And then Yvonne may say something to shut her up, to get her to thinking and shut her up. And Milton, Milton is the worst kind of snake. Milton, I mean, he thinks that he's really doing something by he calling Odell a fool and weak and all of this, but he just don't know. And Joyce now, Yvonne did say, I don't believe. Said, don't think I believe everything that Milton tell me. And she did say that. She don't believe everything he tell her, because some things she gonna check, she gonna have to check out for herself. But she don't believe everything. And even though people think women or men are naive and stuff, they don't believe everything you tell them. Everybody got a role to play. Everybody can play everybody are actors or actresses in their own way. Everybody trying to get that Academy Award.
Yeah, William Shakespeare did say that. He said all the world's a stage and everybody's a mirror are players in it. But this is where I disagree at when the part Yvonne always say she don't trust everything that he say. But like you said, Milton is the worst counter snake. When you stay with a person and you know they wicked, you just as wicked because you right him in his wrongs. When he do stuff, she take up for him. She get mad if Joyce say anything about him, but then she turn around and she say stuff about Odell. That's what I'm saying. They just alike. The reason Joyce don't know how to be a friend. Joyce has never had a friend. So it's not that I feel sorry for Joyce. Joyce has never had a friend. And her and Yvonne can't find a friend in each other because her and Yvonne's just alike. They both talk about each other behind their back. Joyce don't always throw the rock the first time. Sometimes it's Yvonne too, because even when ain't nothing said, time she gone, she talk about it behind her back. She talk about it to Milton. And Milton tell her, well, just be friends with her because we need them for something. So they just as dirty as them because y'all get them backwash from other things that people drinking out of. So that's why I think serious. Right is right and wrong is wrong, because that's nasty. And that's speaking of her nature too. So it's like, I like her because she is teachable and she's not evil and dirty, but her husband is. And you can't okay everything that he do. And then y'all laughing at these people. You stealing from their store and you make that okay. Well, they said this about us, so we steal from their store. It's okay. No, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
They wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. And not only do they give drinks, one person to drink out of, but two people could have drank out of. The second person, they could have gave that to the second person. They left it. So you got third hand back lifting.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's where it comes, you enabling somebody's behavior, because sometimes you just have to be woman or man enough to walk away. What I did, like, she saw a human side of Joyce. She was like, oh, they do have problems. Because, Joyce was about to cry to her and tell her the things that was going on. Like, she do miss Odell, but she understands he has to go to his father's house. But Joyce has walls up because she's used to women looking down on her. So Joyce really don't know how to be a friend. Yvonne does, because she has had friends. So it's like if both of them drop their guard and stop being so defensive about their men, they'll realize just how much they have in common. And I think as women, and
they'll realize just how evil their men are. Right. Their husbands are.
What I do like about Odell, though, Odell handles his responsibility. He do take care of his kids and he has a heart for his kids. What I don't like about Odell is, like Milton was right, he spoke too much outside of his marital home and he shouldn't, because to me, the marriage was supposed to be sacred. I do like he take up for Joyce, but it also reminds me he probably taking up and defending Joyce because he's really taking up for himself. It's not about her, it's about how he looked to the other woman. Milton do not care. Milton is a snake. And to me, when you deal with somebody that don't care about nobody but yourselves and everybody's disposable, because if he couldn't use Yvonne more, if Yvonne went to jail, Milton wouldn't think about it twice. He'll write her and finesse her a little bit, but he gonna move on to the next woman. Anybody that gonna help him in his scheme, because he got offended when she told him, "Oh, you didn't tell me everything I know. So if something do happen to him," he was like, "Nah, I ain't taught you everything." That's when she said, "I don't trust him." She should have realized then, like, nah, my husband ain't right. He really is a crook because he getting over on me. He making her spend saved up money for his gambling habit. And she takes up for time. He said, "Oh, I'm sick." "Oh, well, you sick?" He manipulating her. Yeah. So to me, for a woman that's been in jail, and if she was so wise, she should be able to see through that.
I don't think that he really manipulates her as much as we think that he does, because there were certain instances in the book where he thought that he was getting over, and in her mind she knew that he was getting over. She didn't say anything about it, but it's just good that you know it, and you know that you know what people are doing. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, you don't have to confront it, but you can keep it in your mind that you are aware of what they're trying to do. So I don't think he may have started from the beginning manipulating her, but I think that changed because I remember when her husband took her, when Milton took her to see or to prove that Odell had another family, she thought in her mind, she didn't know that he could lie so quick and lie so good. Okay, so she thought about that. And then when there was another case, I think when he was saying that he kind of fussed at Odell when he found out that he had a second family, and she said, you should have asked him for money in so many words, and he was like, no, I just gave him a hug. And she said, a hug? And she knew in her mind he was telling a lie. So some things she just didn't say, she just didn't confront him about, but she knew. And sometimes we can't always confront people. I mean, in everyday life, we just can't always say nothing, but we can watch and we can observe and we can keep in the back of our minds what we already know.
I agree, especially when you're in a relationship, and I had to learn that you can't confront everything. But what I didn't like about Milton was bringing trouble to their home and their front door. Because all the schemes and the sneakiness that he was doing, anybody could have came in and hurt them, because he didn't have no remorse for nobody. He stole from everybody. He stole from the prostitute. He wanted to steal from his own customers that he was getting stuff from. And everybody know Yvonne is the face of him. You go right to the house and she's serving with him. So he'll have somebody hurting her from the trouble that he's doing. And then listen to how even conniving she is. You should have got money from them. Why y'all exploiting these people for money and y'all already taking stuff from their store? That's what I didn't like about it. These are some selfish people in this book.
Well, I think that everybody was selfish in the book, Coretta, because they were okay with what they were doing, stealing and coming up with schemes because of the way that they were treating them and some of the things that they were saying about them, and they felt that they were being belittled and talked against. Yvonne, what's her name? Joyce would make all these wise cracks about you didn't get an education, and what kind of parent wouldn't let the kids know that they were their mom and their cousin. And then she talked about even about the little girl's cousin in high school, didn't finish high school, but she went to prison. So she did a lot of talking down on people. So they felt like, hey, you feel this way about us, and you're not afraid to say it, and this is what we're gonna do to you, and you're not gonna miss it.
But see, the thing that
she had, Joyce was born with what they call maybe a silver spoon in her mouth. And Joyce was an educated, had gone to school, was educated. She was trying to use proper grammar and everything. So that and that's still, you can see that today when you go and educate yourself, try to speak different. People saying she talking white. Why are you talking white? What is talking white? It's no language but the English language. So why does it have to be white? How come you can't be speaking black when you speak correct? Hillbillies, they have their own language, but and really, George was just saying, George was calling it as it was. She just wasn't dressing it up.
Yeah.
She didn't dress it up to make it pretty. She just gave it to you raw and in person. That's the way it was. And it did sound bad, but a lot of that stuff was true. She just, some people said, well, you could have put it in another way. Mm-hmm. Well, what other way do you tell the truth? Do you tell it in a soft tone? Do you write it down? Do you sugarcoat it? What do you do? Do you mask it? Why do we always have to mask the truth, but then full force with a lie?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the way things Joyce said was right, because Joyce was ignorant to her fact because she didn't know how to be a friend. Joyce was used to the same people doing what she was doing to Yvonne. That's what people were doing to her. And she didn't realize how ignorant she was, and she was doing it too, because Joyce was not used to having a friend. And so, like I said, she had no filter. Everything she spoke out on, and some things she should have, you would have thought she would have knew to be quiet, but she didn't know. It was like Leora had said a while back, when you don't know, you just don't know. And Yvonne took everything to heart, because some things she was feeling guilt about, but it still don't make it right for them to steal from her. And because that was saying, they was doing the same thing to each other, it was just in different ways. And I think a lot in society as women, we do that to each other because we don't know. Now, mind you, some people like Milton, some people are just malicious. They do what they want, say what they want, because everybody excuse their behavior. Everybody let Milton got away with a lot. His wife let him get away with it. Willie Frank just ignored stuff that he did. He played on people that he thought was less than him and didn't know no better. So when he found like he had the jumps on Odell, he took advantage of it. And you see a lot of people taking advantage of people's kindness. And sometimes people think because somebody's so nice, it makes them dumb. Odell wasn't dumb. He was just too effective. He wanted to hide his secret so bad because he knew he had to lose. Now, he was dumb for being so loose about it, like he said, but he wasn't dumb necessarily for paying him off and trying to keep it a secret, because at least he was trying to make his wife feel better, because his mistress already knew what's up. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. That girl didn't care. As long as she was getting what her and them kids need, she was good. And she played him because she suckered him into getting a picture. Milton was evil. Milton was one of those people that you see, even he'll bring anybody down around him. He just did not have anything kind in it. And Joyce got caught up with him because, not Joyce, but if we didn't pay attention to what they said in the beginning, Yvonne was always looking for somebody to save her. Even though she was a strong woman, she could stand on her own, she always wanted somebody to save her. Time she realized Milton was going to save me and he accepted all her faults, she went for it. And that's what I said. He put her in a position where she can get hurt, and what people is going to look down on her once they find out all their secrets, because she went along with it. We always say,
but what secrets? But what faults did she have? I mean, what faults did she have? Only thing I knew was her children were taken from her, but it wasn't no fault of hers. I guess that she was too young to take care of them. But what did she had gone to prison, and served her time? But what was she doing?
She was
just with her husband, trying to be a wife.
It's okay being a good wife, but what I'm saying is, notice her husband was always saying, I'm a good Christian. He used that to his advantage. But if you know somebody doing something evil and wrong, you got to call them out on. Like she could have at least said, "Now, baby, we better than that. We don't need them. We could have did this and we could have did that." She could have stood her ground. She didn't have to accept everything. Women are so afraid now to challenge their men. The only way you're gonna challenge a man now if it's something that you don't like and is demanding your respect. But when it's hurting others, we okay with it. And y'all ladies, I'm saying we as general, because I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but that's why I said that's the whole base of this book. We want to, what's wrong is not wrong as long as it's benefiting us. Remember we said, like, what's in a relationship, as long as that person happy, that's the money. We had a behind the book discussion, and it was like Adam and Eve was the same way, because Eve was so naive at the point she wanted what she wanted and she fell for it. And Adam stood there hiding behind a tree and he allowed her to do it because he was so scared to be alone. Every time Milton said he was sick, Yvonne always say, well, I don't want to be alone. I need him. We get in so much bondage thinking we need people. We agree with everything that they do. Milton can have Yvonne going back to prison and she accepted. They didn't take her kids away from her. She freely gave them up because she felt like, well, they've been raising them. She could have been a good mom to her kids, like she had in the beginning. Yvonne chose to steal. She didn't have to. True enough, her parents died, but she had her aunties that step in that was good to her. Yvonne had a kind heart, but Yvonne was trifling too now, because Yvonne was always looking for somebody to do something for her. Yvonne felt like she was entitled too. She didn't have to steal. Then both of them had a job, and then y'all had that side business.
I haven't got to that side of Yvonne that so she was, she was trifling and all that kind of stuff, because I know she worked, and when he gambled the money off and lied, she still paid the electric bill, the water bill, because she didn't want living in a nice neighborhood next to doctors and stuff on the same street. She didn't want them to find out their lights was off or their water was off, and that's what people do today, still masked up. I know people, and I did know people on my mail route. I see them at the house every day, but I didn't know their lights was out until a neighbor said something, about it. Or this other lady on my route, see her walking all the time and stuff. And I knew when I first started, everything was good, but to say her stuff is out. So, I mean, now to this day, I wouldn't want nobody to know my lights out, my water off and stuff like that. I'll mask that out, pay or have somebody to pay that, try to keep that on. But with her doing that, that was fine. He had a gambling problem and she loved to work, she loved money, so she had to step in, and the only reason Joyce was trying to be the a submissive wife where the man is the head of the household. And that's why she wasn't worried about the money, because she trusts him to, take care of the money and stuff. Now, she did say a point where I think I read that if he could, now that was Yvonne said that when Milton got to the point where he could told him, you can't manage this money, I will take over.
Right. But
I remember her
what I'm
saying
saying,
that.
right. But what I'm saying about Yvonne is I like her because she was teachable. But this is always what we get with a kind heart. And people always say, if you got a kind heart and you really nice, you ain't finna be dirty to nobody. You will be the first person saying, I'm not finna get these people this second and third drink that somebody didn't drink out of. Then you will be going stealing from these stores because you making money. Y'all got a side business that make money, and then both of y'all work and you still stealing. Yvonne still went up to their store and stole, but she justified it because they was talking about them. She felt like Joyce was looking down on her, but every time when Joyce didn't want around, they was looking down on Joyce and Odell too. Then look when her husband wanted to prove something. Let me show you what they doing. They weren't right either. To me, I think that's what the author trying to show us. We get to a point where we so righteous where we don't see the wrong that we doing to everybody else. Yvonne and Milton was wrong, and she upheld Milton in his wrong. And when he caught on to her, oh baby, I got a headache and I don't feel good. Then he'll tell her, they'll laugh about stealing out their store to make it okay. That wasn't right. I understand what you're saying, because don't nobody want to be in a point where you doing so bad. Everybody that did something wrong, but when you continue to do wrong, that shows your true character. That shows what it says in the Bible. The heart is wicked and deceitful above all things, and I can know it. Because there's a lot of stuff people can do to people. People don't realize that if you pay attention to the stuff that people don't do, that shows more of your character, because you can truly hurt somebody if you do this. I can truly ruin your reputation if I told this truth. But when I choose not to, that shows you more kinder than a person saying, well, I just did that because of so-and-so and so-and-so. Or a person saying, yeah, I made that mistake. I did this wrong one time, but I'm not going to do it no more because I didn't learn my lesson. You never hear her or Milton say that. You hear her hint to having remorse. But when it comes to what she needs, she still got that mentality. I'm going to take it. It means necessary. If I got to steal it, I'm okay with it. She'll express remorse, but she still did what she had to do.
Well, she was a thief. A thief is a thief.
A
If
thief.
you're gonna be a thief, be the best thief you can be. But I think the author's trying to show that you have two different couples, two different married couples. You have these two different married couples. One was kind of what we say made prominent and educated. One was they didn't have any education, but they wasn't dumb. They did what they did. But she's trying to show that no matter who you are, what relationship you have, what education you have or don't have, everybody have flaws. Ain't no sin. You put Yvonne and Milton stuff on a scale, and you put Odell and Joyce stuff on the scale, and both of the scales are both of them will come out wanted. Those scales will be even. The scales won't even tilt, because both of them, they stuff is the same. They may be doing different things, but it's still the same. It carry the same weight.
Yeah. So that's why I just don't think that we could say, so many things about Yvonne, because I did feel that sometimes she did feel remorseful, and she said some things to Milton, but still that was her husband, that was the environment that she was living in, that's what she knew, the things that he did and things that she was doing, that's what she knew, because she had been doing them from maybe her teenage years up until she went to jail, until she came back. So that was her life. So I don't I just don't really think that she still to say that she was this such a bad person because of the things that she did. Now, the things that she did were not good. We could say that they were bad. But I think if we just really look at it, like you said, she could have been teachable around the right person, the good role model. She would have been a better person. I believe she had a good heart. She made some bad decisions, just like Milton, just like Odell, and just like Joyce.
Okay,
Joyce
hold
is the
on.
way she is, and she don't have anything else going on for her. Nothing. She's a
Right.
teacher's aide. You would think she has the finances she needs, but she has never had a true female friend to teach her anything, to show her anything. So she's just, I think she's smart silly or smart
Oh,
stupid.
okay, I'm gonna ask y'all a question and y'all be honest. And the reason why I'm saying it, because they said, we supposed to be, and I want anybody logging on, and I don't want anybody to say we telling y'all to do something wrong. What we trying to do is open up the dynamics, especially as Black women, to see how we can be teachable to each other. Because I think a lot of times in our community is we are the ones that tear each other down, and sometimes by default because we don't know any better. But if you teachable, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. So I'm gonna ask a question. I want y'all to be totally honest. Now, listen to what we just said about these couples, and let's think about it. Kim, you quiet, but I want everybody to tell the God honest truth. And I know when you married, they said you're supposed to be submissive, but they also say God give you a way out. And we were just saying earlier, I don't believe in one of those people saying, well, you're supposed to get a divorce. I think whatever God tell you to do in your marriage, that's what you're supposed to do, because people are on the outside looking in. And I think that's what this book is showing us, because marriage is supposed to be something sacred given to God, regardless however the people look. But okay, say for instance, all us married. Our husband murdered somebody. He come home and say, he don't tell us at first. Police come knocking at the door the next day. They're ready to arrest y'all and take both of y'all out because they don't know who was in the car. Your husband go out and murder somebody in your car. What you gonna do? He said, and then he tell you, well, baby, I murdered them because this man did something to our child. You don't have no knowledge of that. You going off what your husband tell you. And they tell you, and he tell you, well, baby, they say if you take the rap, you gonna get 5 years. But if I get in trouble, I got to do 20 years because I done been in trouble before. What you gonna do?
Well,
We ain't taking the
I'm
ride.
not a ride or die. I'm not a ride or die.
Mm-mm.
I'm not a ride
That's
or
a
die
different,
person.
that's a whole different dynamic than the case with Yvonne. That was a stealing some makeup and stealing some smell good here and there. And it shouldn't get you all that much time.
But
We
wait
ain't
a
going
minute.
to jail. We ain't
Wait a
holding
minute.
up nobody
Wait a
no
minute.
murder.
Hold on. No, listen to what it
Murder
said
won't
in
be
the
the
book.
case that they give me.
Listen to what
Not
it
for no
said in the book.
delivery. No, ma'am.
I know, but hold on, pay attention. Listen to what it said in the book. Remember when she stole from her first boyfriend, he came over there and tried to do something to her. He choked him. Milton jumped in. Now, what if they had killed him that day? And he said, well, I did that for you.
But they ain't
Okay,
killing. They ain't
but they
killing.
did.
That's something
But
different.
I know, but we're using what if scenarios. Now, look, we don't know what's going to happen in the third book. Now, look, Milton's stealing from these people. People want to do stuff to Milton. He didn't get to a point where he
Now,
getting in trouble.
he is taking it to another level. It just
He
went
taking it
from
to,
a small little, let me just swipe something here, to when you done went to marking cards, when you never won a card game. Now you won all the card games. You're being stupid with it now, because you're not smart enough to, hey, let me win 1 or 2 games and then I lose the rest.
okay, so that's what I mean. He could have brought trouble to that house, and because Yvonne is always with him. What if somebody found out? And listen to what they saying. The Black people in that community had started shooting back at people and stuff like that. That's why they wanted to get out that rough neighborhood. So what if it got to a point in the third book and y'all saying, well, that's her husband, she just going along with it, blah 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 blah. Now Doris just said she ain't ride or die. Mind you, we paying attention. Yvonne is ride or die with her husband. Because she even told him, why you ain't get no money from it? She ride or die. She with his schemes as long as it's benefiting her. So we can't say now. If they kill somebody,
I don't think she's gonna be a ride or
She
die, because
probably don't
her
have
ultimate
good
goal
money.
eventually is to get her kids. So I don't think she's gonna get herself locked back in jail again. I think she mentioned that earlier in the book. She ain't going back to jail.
But this is what we ain't paying attention to. Actions speak louder than words. We talked about that before. People always say, well, words are actions speak louder than words. She's saying one thing, but doing something different because she's still stealing. Yvonne ain't got to steal.
We still in the second book. Only thing we can go by is what we see in the second book. And in
but
the second book of it,
but she's still
she ain't riding or
stealing.
die. She not going back to jail. She said it. Now in the third book,
How you ain't going back?
changed her
Milton
mind.
don't have her stealing. Milton don't have her stealing. Remember what she said? He told her how to steal. She's still stealing. You can go back to prison. You went to prison the first time
Now,
for stealing. How
what's
you
the
want your
issue?
kids when you still stealing?
Wait. We're gonna get to the point of this.
Milton said he
Now, what
wasn't
is the
going back to
issue?
jail
I want to
either.
know what is the real issue with Yvonne, because you stuck on Yvonne.
No, hold on. Honestly, see, that was everybody missed. It's not that I'm stuck on Yvonne. What I'm saying is everybody making an excuse for the reason why Yvonne is. When I said we first logged on, we talking about right is right and wrong is wrong. When you wrong, you wrong. And that's what we were saying. If you've been noticing everything on social media and everywhere, even on TV, now y'all seen all these people in Haiti. They wrong for coming over here, but everybody making okay. It's not okay for to hit them people with whips. But everybody making it okay.
It's not okay to hit anybody.
Right, but they making an excuse because people trying to come over here. So that's the whole dynamic of we got to get to a point in society when something is wrong, even if it's our husband. I don't even care if it's my mama. If my mama wrong, she wrong. I love her, but when you wrong, you wrong. And as long as people cover you when you wrong, it leads to other stuff, and we see that a lot. We see that with the government, with everything that's going on. I like Yvonne because she's teachable, but I ain't gonna make excuses for Yvonne. I'm not even making excuses for Joyce. The reason why I'm not so bad on Joyce because I don't see anything just totally bad that Joyce did, just talking about people. And so you heard what I said. She
And
ignorant.
that's
Hold on.
detrimental.
Because those words can tear you down.
Oh, wait,
And
listen
her
to what I
words,
just
that's
said.
what her words
I didn't say-
she been trying to
I
tear
didn't say
Joyce
she was
down,
gonna-
and then she'll try to sweeten it up at the end.
Wait a minute, hold on. How we know she tearing Joyce down? Because the author never said she tore Joyce down. The author said what he said is when she came back, Yvonne said out her own mouth, she was like, yeah, well, she is sweet because she could be. She was like, because she did encourage me to go back to school.
Maybe once or twice.
Some stuff Yvonne do take wrong because she offended because she don't have that. And some stuff Joyce do say wrong because she ignorant. She ignorant.
Joyce has disappointed me. I am so disappointed at Joyce, and I know we're very early on in the series, so it's really hard to form an opinion because at first I was Team Joyce, and now I am not Team Joyce. No. So you just never know how this thing gonna turn around.
I'm not team nobody because, like I said, to me, Joyce is ignorant. Joyce so caught up with herself, she can't see nothing else going on because Joyce full of herself. The thing that I don't like what Yvonne doing is because Yvonne will say one thing and do something else. Joyce does not. Joyce standing her, like Doris just said, Joyce standing her ignorance. Joyce don't make excuses.
She don't know nothing else to do but just be who she is, ignorant. She doesn't know any better.
She know better than to be doing this mess she doing.
She knows that she's saying some wrong things because she's a little jealous of Yvonne. So she knows she makes some wide
she don't make an excuse for her ignorance. She said and act like she don't make excuses. Yvonne make excuses for herself. That's what, because to me, and I'm saying I'm hard on Yvonne because to me I think Yvonne know better, and I think Yvonne would do so much better. That's why I'm more hard on her, because Yvonne she got more street sense than Joyce. She hard on herself because she ain't got book sense, but Yvonne can make it a lot.
Joyce bubble.
And she can
be the one
she can make it a lot further than Joyce, but she keep playing into what this man doing. She doing the same thing he doing, like to have a relationship with him. And my thing is, y'all hustling, y'all got a scheme. Why you still stealing and you keep saying you want to do this and you want to do stuff better? Every time she says she want to do something different, then it come with excuse. But she got too many buts. I don't like that.
Yeah, but she got to keep, because it got to come to fruition. It got to come together. She gonna keep doing what she doing until it come together, and until she see the big picture. You know, we see people and we said, why she can't see or why he can't see? Because the scales haven't fallen from her eyes yet. She probably know it wrong, but she still really don't know. She know who Milton is, but she don't know who Milton is. So when everything come in full circle, her eyes will be open. Joyce, on the other hand, Joyce thinks she's up in it. She looks down on them. She looks down on people, so she think they are gutter trash or whatever. She think they are trailer trash. And she think they trash.
I think she excited because she got somebody that she can look down. I think she excited because she got somebody to look down on and she never could. Because like she said, she got low self-esteem and she jealous of them. And so I think it's to a point where she got somebody that make herself feel a little better. Because, you know, as women, we
Just a
will do
little
that. We
better.
compare ourselves to somebody else to make ourselves feel better. Like I said, she ignorant.
but
and she
Joyce
already
don't
gonna
have-
get...
Yeah, but
What
Joyce
I'm
don't
saying-
have no esteem and no low self-esteem. Baby,
Yes,
Joyce
she do.
is
Yes, she do.
Joyce
Yes, she
is
do.
the bomb diggity. Joyce thinks she the bomb diggity, baby. She thinks she
Yeah,
has
she
going
says
on.
it. Yeah, when she looks in the mirror,
order
she
her
says it, but I
clothes.
bet you she won't say it loud.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
got
She
her
don't say
feelings
it
going
loud.
on.
That's a way
She
for
Yeah,
her
I can
boosting
say
her
whatever I
self-esteem.
want to in the privacy of my home when I'm looking in the mirror and with the light off. I'm the what
Right.
bomb diggity. I bet you
Well,
she
you know
won't
they
say
call
it
them-
say it out loud.
And then she
No,
order her clothes from Sears and Roebuck at the catalog, even
That
though they
look like
talk
what
about it like it's so old.
Yvonne said, look, they look like.
But yeah, she
Them
said they
ugly
look like
clothes.
that she wouldn't put up. Yes. But remember the other book we read, Behind Closed Doors, and we found out that lady was doing all that shopping and everything else because she had low self-esteem because she knew someone right with her husband. Joyce doing the same thing because in that same sense when she was talking about her clothes, remember Joyce broke down and started crying to her, telling her how much she missed Milton. Everything Joyce is doing to make herself feel better. Everything is Yvonne is doing is for herself. Because mind you, what I'm
She
saying,
making
y'all in a
herself
nice
feel better
neighborhood.
too.
But the thing is, you now she is hurting it because mind you, at any time Joyce don't have to be friends with Yvonne. The only reason she ain't around Yvonne because they steal from that store because she wants something from her. That's what I'm saying about Yvonne. You don't have to be around this woman saying slick stuff to you. That's a choice.
And
But-
Yvonne and Joyce is going over there so they can get free drinks and gossip
they
and
using
get the
each
ladies
other.
gossip and stuff.
Right,
They
that's what I'm
using
saying.
each other.
They using each other, but it's a choice because Yvonne can shut that down at any time because she don't, but she not because her husband keep telling her, well, you need them, so let's keep doing this and let's keep doing that. That's my reason for Yvonne because
And
Yvonne
and Joyce can stop going around, especially now that Odell is uncomfortable being around Milton. He can make us some excuses and they not go around. She
but
gonna do whatever he tells her to do.
exactly. If he told her to stop going around him and stuff like that, she eventually would. That's what I'm saying. That's not gonna be because her husband can shut it down. What I'm saying about Yvonne is we feeling sorry for Yvonne and ain't no excuse because she can shut that down. She don't, but she doing it because greed. So her part is greed.
I don't like the fact that Yvonne them just walk up in people's houses. Walk up in
That
Joyce
too.
them house like she ain't got no. I don't like that. But like I said,
They do the same, but they do the same with them. They just go over there.
But
They
everybody
just
do.
They do that with each other. Just go over there.
Right.
You are further along in the book some more so I can get a better understanding. But you know what they are as the chapters go on and on. But what I do see is it doesn't matter what she's doing. I mean, a person is who they are.
That's
We
true.
say we know, a lot of people, we do know better. We know what we're doing is wrong. But knowing is wrong don't make us stop.
It don't.
They're just like Michael K. Williams, one of the best actors I've seen. He knew his addiction was wrong. He knew he tried, and whatever he tried to do, I don't know whatever he tried to do, but he couldn't stop. And you know, some things is hard, habits are hard to break. He couldn't stop. He just happened to have, they say, got a hold of a bad batch. Now, in Yvonne's case, Yvonne knows stealing is wrong. Everybody was brought up to say stealing is wrong. The Bible said, thou shalt not steal. But the Bible said a lot of stuff. Thou shalt not kill, covet, and a lot of things. But that don't stop us from not doing it. And that don't make people bad because they pick up certain habits that are not good. Now, I may not be a thief, or you may not be a thief, but I think, in my opinion, lying is worse than stealing. Lying is horrible, you know, and people know that's wrong, but that's what they do. You got some good liars out there.
True, but if you are a thief, you are a liar. Because Milton was a very good liar because he was a very good thief, and that's what I'm saying. We listening to everything that Yvonne's saying, but it's like Yvonne is contradicting herself in lying because she'll say one thing and still do something else. The only, like I said, I'm not. Like I said, I like Yvonne and Joyce, and what I love about Yvonne, I believe she's teachable. So that's my thing. If she got around the right people and didn't take offense to everything somebody said to her, I think she'll be a better person. And then
But
especially
I
saying
think
that you want your
Joyce
kids, but you doing stuff to put yourself back in prison. But what I'm saying is Yvonne ain't got to
but
be
Joyce
around
is
Joyce. That's
teachable.
a choice. But Joyce ain't stealing from
But
nobody.
Joyce
Joyce
is
ain't trying
teachable
to.
too.
It just
She
can't be
honestly,
stuck. We just can't be stuck on stealing. I
only
mean,
reason why,
stealing is not
Joyce
good.
may
It is
not
not
be,
good.
but
But
Joyce
if you
all
may
of
look,
not
them
be
are doing
stealing.
some things
But
that,
her
that
voice,
they should not do.
right,
They
the reason why
outlaw.
I'm stuck on that because we're not paying attention. Like your actions speak louder than words. It's not that I'm stuck on it. It's because everybody overlooking it like it's okay. And the reason why I'm saying
We
it's not okay,
know
because
who's overlooking it like it's okay.
I'm saying, but look
I'm
at.
not. I know I'm not, because I'm not gonna steal nothing and be behind bars. I just know I'm not gonna steal with
That's what
hair
I'm saying.
braided to
Look
the
at
back, wearing a orange jumpsuit every day or a striped jumpsuit every day. I'm just not gonna do it.
But look at the big, you went to prison for it once. Why is you still doing the same thing that sent you to prison in the first place when you got
Sometimes
extra
those
money
habits
coming
be
in?
hard to break, girl. They be a stronghold. They be a hard on these folks.
That's my thing. When people okay you're wrong, we leave it as a
They didn't okay
stronghold.
the
How do we
wrong.
break those cycles? How do we break those cycles? How do we break it? Joyce,
it's
we
not easy.
already know Joyce cycle gonna be broke because once she find out what Odell doing, I don't believe she gonna leave him, but she gonna stop all that bragging and she gonna stop looking down on people because the same thing that you were looking down on people and saying, she finna get slapped right back in the face with it.
Yeah, because she gonna realize that all of while she was praising Odell, the people that she was praising him to knew the truth.
Knew her secret. So
Knew the truth.
Sounds like real life, that.
yes.
Everybody knows what you. Everybody knows what's
Yeah.
going on.
And
And
I
look,
think
and
that's
when
what's
you
gonna
find
hurt her
out,
worse.
then they go and tell you, "Oh, I knew, I saw him." You know, after you find out, then everybody
Yes.
come tell you what happened. I just didn't tell you,
Yeah.
girl. I tried to tell you. You were just so
And
happy.
that's what gonna hurt her the worst. Everybody knew except her, and then the same way everybody was in town talking about you thought he was too good to marry you. Now everybody finna be laughing in her face, and now Yvonne got something on her. But I'm hard on Yvonne because I truly believe that. I just wish she did better because I truly see that she can be a good person. And my thing, y'all, I'm just ignoring Joyce because she ignorant and she finna get what's coming to her. Joyce is. I'm not rejoicing in it, but she is.
When you tell a person, you laugh at them because they don't have any wedding pictures and they got married. You say, y'all got married in a bootleg house, but you got married in a house that everybody just came to see it because they wanted to witness what nut was looking at you.
They thought it was a show.
You know, that's the thing that make you want to laugh at them and take some every once in a while, you know.
I'm so disappointed at Joyce.
And that's my thing. Joyce doing everything and that's what I'm saying. You see how God brings stuff back around. Everything everybody did to you doing to this woman, and you don't have to because they could have been good friends. So my thing was, Joyce finna get what's coming to her. Joyce finna be looking so ugly and stupid. And she ain't gonna leave it because she gonna be too ashamed to leave it. Well, they did say Joyce is not ugly. They said she just lanky and she plain.
And she got big feet like a man. And if you wouldn't have seen the hair on her head, you would have thought she was a dude like Odell. And her clothing was old fashioned.
Yeah, poor choice.
I keep going. You want me to keep going?
Because see, that's what I'm saying.
And her shoes were long.
Like I said, the women could have been great friends to each other, and Joyce finna get hit with the ugly stick. I hate if we get in the third book and Yvonne went back to jail because they'll be looking like you had your way out. You could have been doing good. You could have been putting money to the side and ran off and left Milton, and she could be doing it.
Don't call her Coretta. Call Joyce.
I wish
call Yvonne.
I wish I could.
Call her, baby. Call.
I wish I could, because if we get in this third book and she don't learn no sense and Joyce don't get what coming to her for talking about people, I'm gonna be mad. Because this author better been set this up right. Because it's like you gotta need people's lives and still Because I ain't worried about Milton. Right, because they doing too much. And I hope somebody hurt Milton. And that's probably why Yvonne irritates me, because I do not like Milton. Milton is just a snake.
It's Milton. It's like, why you staying with somebody like that? You know, because maybe she believes that he will get better. Maybe she think he's trying until he get to the place where, you know, he can buy her the new furniture, and he can buy her the telephone, and he can buy her the car. Maybe she's just trying to be there with him to support him in all of his endeavors.
Maybe so.
We
can get
don't
on her
know.
own. She a smart woman. She says she learned everything she know. I don't like him. It's like, ooh, why? And then he ain't even cute. You fat, you sloppy, you go by prostitutes, you don't even pay them, you run out with their money. Milton Trife.
Glad we don't have no credit score back then, because he wouldn't have good credit.
Well, he trying to get him credit at the store.
Yeah, it's Milton. It's Milton, and you now you wonder why certain women, you see certain women, and then you get to know them, and then you get to know the person that they're with, and you're wondering, or it could be certain men, and you wondering, you know, why are they together? You know, and especially, you know, his history and some of the things he has done. Hey.
And you have to be honest. You know, we see people and we be like that. Why you are? We see
Milton
women
doesn't make Odell look so bad. Odell doesn't look as terrible.
No, Milton make Odell.
Oh, look, Milton so like mad that Odell, that Yvonne was talking so highly of Odell. He was kind of happy to give her the news, but he lied at the end, because he didn't tell her that he was getting extra money, because that means she would want more money.
She'll want more. I'm saying, Milton a snake. Milton only person he got any loyal to is Willie Frank, and that because he need Willie Frank for the sale of moonshine, because he know his side money will be gone. Because when I say Milton is horrible, when y'all get on into this book, Milton is horrible. Ain't nothing good.
We know some of the things that Milton is doing. Hopefully it don't get worse in chapter 3, but there's gonna always be an ending. It may be good, it may be bad, it may not end in your favor. But that, you know, that's what you expect when you do those things that maybe you shouldn't be doing.
That's true.
Or you continue to do wrong.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They got a nice home. Y'all in a nice neighborhood. Y'all got a side business, and then both of y'all working hard. All that extra stuff that he doing, Lord knows he really don't have to do it. It's like, come on. And have you ever seen one of those people? It's like, God keep blessing y'all, but y'all keep having bad and hard times. It's like every time you get something good, boom, something bad happen. You be wondering like, okay, what's really going on? And Milton is like that, because whenever they doing good, something bad happen. And I know Yvonne knows something going on, because we didn't realize, remember we said like, now Joyce don't know. We have realized Joyce thinks something going on with her husband, but then she covers like, well, his dad is real sick.
He should have been dead by now. He's been sick so long. How many years? 4?
The whole time they've been together, he's been dead.
It's been 5 years. Right after, He's been on his bed for a long time.
I said he should be dead by now.
He should have been.
He been on the deathbed.
And everybody else is saying, wow, you know, Joyce, why you still believing that lie? You know? Okay. I just want Milton to get him some money. I want him to buy Vaughn a telephone, because she need a phone. And a matching bedroom set. Because you remember Joyce talked about her bedroom. And Joyce knows she was wrong for that. She talked about, I can't even believe y'all don't have a matching bedroom set. I'm like, girl, is that the most important thing you can think about?
Because she ain't got nothing else going for herself. That's what I'm saying. People feel realize when people are hurt and it don't make no excuse, they try to hurt other people. She hurting because a man ain't home. She happy because she got a man, but now she hurting because he ain't spending that much time with her. She knows something ain't right. And Yvonne was like, she was happy that she started showing that side, but then you went and said something ignorant. Yvonne can be great friends if they drop their guard and both of them stop taking up for their man. And when you with your husband, you do, because these days husbands, you supposed to be your husband. Woman, you ain't gonna let nobody
talk about your husband in front of your face. Now you can talk about him when you get home, and say whatever you want to say, but you know you ain't gonna let nobody talk about your significant other in your face.
You right, and I don't care how much they make you mad. The gloves come out like, hold on now.
You ain't gonna let nobody talk about your children, your siblings, your significant other, your mama. You ain't gonna let nobody talk about nobody.
You not.
So she was right for upholding him in the public, but behind closed doors, she should have been saying some things too.
True. Now I ain't saying taking up on with somebody talking about them, but what I'm saying is if both of them dropped their guard and they stopped looking down on each other and finding faults in each other, then they both of them would have realized their eyes would have been open to the things that they men doing around them. But it's like, you know how the devil be used. It's like they so caught up. Probably so, and that's probably why they were so focused on other things. They probably did know, and that's probably gonna find out. Because sometimes when people know stuff going on, they're focused on everything else. You may be right about that.
And people will receive from you, like Miss Doris was saying earlier, you know, it just all depends on how you deliver the message. Joyce did not have any kindness nor pure intent towards any of her criticism. It was not constructive criticism.
Because she ignorant. You know,
she was just trying to tear her down. But she wasn't doing that to many other people.
I'm not going to change my words to Joyce.
She didn't have no bite back. You know, all the time she's been tore down. She's doing this because she's getting away with it. But I hope that that Yvonne steal all this man's money and leave him.
She needs to, because
she's doing it because she thinks she's better than Yvonne.
No,
that's why she's so comfortable.
She's doing it because she needs somebody to make herself feel better. That's why she's doing it. She's doing it because her self-esteem to make herself feel better. That's why I keep saying I'm not gonna change my words by Joyce. Joyce ignorant. Joyce ignorant, and she is. And she got too much pride.
Joyce a bully.
She ain't no bully. She ignorant.
An unattractive one too.
She's a bully towards Yvonne. She's not towards. She wasn't no
Yvonne
bully
let her. Yvonne, because Yvonne, everybody else ain't gonna let her do it. Yvonne let her. She do.
Because she's trying to change her ways. You remember Milton said you didn't say anything to her. You didn't do this.
Trying to change
she
her
was
ways.
like, I'm not trying to be like I was before. She was trying to be better. So sometimes when you're trying to do better and be a better person, each day, you know, you may not go back to your old ways. You may not curse the person out right then. You may not slap them right then. You may not say anything. You may just look at them, you know. So I think she was trying to be a better person.
But I'm not going to keep going around. I have been into a point in my life where I was telling God, like, if anything wrong with me, change me. But and Shannon will tell you, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm keep going around the person that's hurt me and let you talk to me mean, because I don't want to say anything mean back. So my best line of defense is like, I don't want to hurt you and I don't want you to hurt me. So I'd rather just shut down all communications and all dealing, because we bring out the worst in each other. So that's what I'm saying. It was a choice. She could have stopped dealing with her. Because I promise you, I like Yvonne and I really do believe she's teachable, but I just don't like how she make too many excuses and keep putting herself in bad situations. And I'm like, Cheryl, I do hope she get all his money and run off with him, because he'll have her getting hurt over the dumb stuff he doing.
He gonna get George store might get closed down. They may lose the store.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. You constantly giving him money, then and what Odell, but
if
Odell,
he lose the store, he gonna lose the store because he gonna get caught up in some financial problems. We're trying to take care of Betty Jean, her boys, and she's gonna probably start demanding more. So if he loses,
she started demanding more.
She is. Right then. There you go.
And we already know it was a recession. They had already been through the Great Depression or whatever. And it's like, now you have, and then Milton don't keep coming to him just for the money that you owe me. I'm blackmailing you.
You just you overdo it. You do too much. You get carried away.
I need $1 for gas for the man truck I borrowed. I need $1. I need to borrow $5. Make it $6 because I got to wait and all that kind of stuff.
That's the stuff you like. You being greedy. You just doing too much. You just don't know how to get a little. But you want to come back and you want to constantly come back. Even how he when he was playing the card game. Now everybody know you always lose, but you win every game. I mean, you bringing attention to yourself because you're a stupid criminal. You're too greedy.
And it's like, when do people realize, like, when is enough? You got a house, you doing good, but you choose to go out here and gamble, and everybody know you a bad gambler because you can't win nothing.
But
And
you
it's
know
like,
what? What if people know and they just, kind of, they already know,
take
but they
advantage
just
of.
kind of look over it until you just go too far?
Mhm.
Yeah. Until you just start doing too much. I
Well,
mean, when you
people got to
steal
find out
somebody's
for sure.
equipment and then you sell it to their brother-in-law, you really stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
When I say something, it's just something don't connect. And you heard he told her, like, nah, I ain't never going back to prison. If he get to a point where he go back to prison, he gonna have a shootout here, kid. He got it in his head, I'm gonna do whatever it takes not to go back to prison. But you doing everything in the world to go back to prison. When I say Milton was, and then he was sloppy with it. Everybody know when you're doing wrong, and he just did not care.
He was,
Like, yeah, he was horrible.
he didn't
Now,
care.
I don't think Yvonne knew he was that bad. Now, that much I didn't know that she knew about him. Because I do feel she loved him because he helped her in a situation. He moved me in his house and stuff like that. But I am really hard on her because she could do so much better. And y'all ain't never seen a woman that you realize, you look at them knowing they can do so much better, but they're around. I don't care if it's a man or they friends, you be looking like, why is you letting these people bring you down when you can do so much better?
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
think,
where they want to be.
yeah. And I think that she's going to have a turnaround. I think as we look, she's going to lose respect for Joyce. Right now, she still has respect for Joyce, but eventually she's going to start shutting her down real hard until she loses
Especially
that
now
respect.
that she know the top secret.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I got to get to that point now. I hadn't read the top secret, but I'm gonna
You
get
do
to
know
that
the
point.
top secret. You know it already.
Yeah, but
That
I
he
hadn't
having
got to the
kids.
part. I hadn't got to the part of the book where Milton let her in on it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Even though we disclose and certain stuff, trust me, once you read it, because when I said art is very articulate and she goes into details, you will see. And then it makes you realize a lot in life, like you said, about people, because we don't know what's going on in people's relationship, but you see in the background. And it also shows, I heard a sermon this morning about T. Jakes, and he was saying that's how people get bonded to people. You get bonded to the wrong type of people, because as long as they can stay in your ear and keep constantly telling you stuff, you get a bond with them. Even when it's wrong or right, they bonded to you, so they ways intercede on you. And he was like, that was one of the things we have to pray against, because it's like word curses. You allow people to change you, because once you lay there and you bond with them and they keep speaking in your ear and telling you the wrong things, you start to believe it and it starts to change you. And you can't see the change, but everybody around you can. And it gets to a point where it does lead to destruction. And maybe that's why I'm hard on Yvonne, because I don't want her to keep changing for him when she could have so much better for herself. And I know this her husband, but it seems like maybe if she put her foot down, and even if she walk away, she don't have a divorce, maybe if she just walk away from it, because he need her to, because she run that business just as better, because he always gone. He come in on the latter part. She's running that business.
Yeah, and hopefully there's an introduction of new characters in the book. So, especially as it relates to, bonding, which is the same thing as a soul tie, and until you get a different voice, we need a different voice. We need another character in here, somebody with some type of life and hope and betterment to interject
because she ain't
the
gonna learn nothing
necessary
from Joyce.
change.
Yeah. But I do hope they introduce another character, because Yvonne is teachable. Joyce is not teachable because she on her high horse. But I think God gonna bring her down, or where the author gonna bring her down to her level where she is gonna be teachable. Because it's like the climax has to be building up to something, because she constantly bragging on Odell, and now, like I said, now Yvonne know the secret. Everybody know this man got 3 kids in a whole nother town, and he buying and taking care of these kids from the store, from the sweat of your parents' back. And she believed.
I think they're gonna crucify her.
Yeah, they're gonna hurt her. They're gonna hurt her.
That's gonna hurt her. Because everything about him is good. Everything about her, Odell, is good.
It's gonna humble her. It's gonna humble her.
It's gonna humble her.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Yeah, well, we just gonna keep Yvonne in our prayers and our thoughts. That's how we gonna do.
He being hard on her. I know you like her, daughter. I know you like her, but
I do like her. Because I do like her. She found the person that made she, she's doing some things that are not good. True enough, it's the things that she's doing that have caused like a to cause us to have you to have some your own opinion about her. But I think at the end of the day, like you said, she's teachable. So I'm gonna assign you to be her mentor.
Okay, so for any women out here that is like Yvonne, if you married, I'm not gonna touch the subject because you're married, because I think you got to go to God when you married, because the marriage is ordained by God and He blesses it because you say your vows to Him, even as to that other person. But you have to be wise, and you have to know what to hold on to and what to let go. And what I mean by letting go, you don't have to enable the behavior. Love yourself enough. And I don't think Yvonne had enough self-love. We already know what Joyce's issue is. And I'm not taking up for Joyce because she ignorant. We know she gonna get humble. But for any women that can relate to Yvonne, please have enough self-love so you don't destroy yourself. We see so many women going to prison these days, taking up for the wrong things. We see so many women lose their life taking up for the wrong thing. And we see so many women that lose everything that's unique and beautiful about them. Because Yvonne is a beautiful woman. She is very unique and she got gifts and talents. She didn't need the education of Joyce because God had blessed her with all the best things that she needed. So if you are a woman out here and you can relate to it, don't compare yourself to anybody. The Bible tells you that thou shalt not covenant. Be you, stand on who God made you to be, and trust yourself. You don't have to do all that anybody else has to do. You strong enough to stand on your own. So that's my plight. I do like Yvonne, and I'm going to be hard on her because she got all the potential to be a great woman. And sometimes people got to be hard on you. That's a part of tough love. So for me, Donna, my thing toward Yvonne, I just got tough love toward her because I think she got so many good things coming toward her. I do not think Joyce is teachable. So Joyce is one of them people that you just have to let them learn on their own. So that's why I don't have no talk about Joyce, because we already see Joyce is going to be humble. The thing that I don't like about with Yvonne, you got the potential of going back to prison. You got the potential of losing your life because the person that you with, he too grimy. He a snake. He a snake. So I'm not hard on him, but it's
and for the Yvonnes out there, if you see Joyce coming, please close the door or go the other way.
Yes, you don't have to be her friend. I agree. I do agree, because some women will pull you down and make you feel even worse because they feel bad.
Yeah.
So I agree.
For no reason.
Yes. Because Joyce is mean-spirited. Joyce is,
well, I guess just being ugly make you mean, I guess.
They say Joyce wasn't that ugly. They said she wasn't that ugly.
I didn't hear that part. That was Odell said. And of course he was gonna say it because he saw some green but standing behind her. So yeah, he said she wasn't that ugly. But everybody else, all the other folk we met in the book, from the two cashiers to Yvonne, to Milton, Aunt Maddie, who else that saw her? All Aunt Maddie workers.
The men that passed on the street.
Yeah, even.
Yeah, when she was walking with Yvonne, I said, no, ain't. She said, I'm a married woman. I'm gonna talk to you.
Okay, so I gave advice to the Yvonnes out there. So I've been had tough love, but everybody that been hard on Joyce. Okay, Dr. Barnes, what advice would you give to Joyce?
Sit down. Go sit down and be quiet.
Sweep around your own front door before you sweep around mine.
And sometimes you can be friends with people. You can learn stuff from other women. Like you can learn how to put your makeup on. You can teach them things. They can teach you things. They can teach you how to coordinate colors. The outfit that fits your body. You can learn a lot of stuff from people. You don't have to be cheap, jealous, or envy of folk. You don't have to do all that because it's enough for us to go around. So you don't have to be that way.
And you ain't have to order from Sears and Roebuck. You can go to the thrift store. A lot of people around here, believe it or not, dresses from the thrift store.
Sure do. Secondhand. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But that was a way of making herself feel good. Because remember, we read that in the other book, Behind Closed Doors. Remember, she was a beautiful woman, but she shopped so much because she was hurt. So I don't know. I don't know what advice I would have to women like Joyce, since I guess I have not been hard on Joyce. The only thing I can say to anybody, you have to be teachable, because like I said, she could have been a friend enough, you could have learned a lot from her. And then you could have also taught her a lot, because she was teaching you something. They could have been great friends to each other. So instead of us being jealous of each other, crabs in a bucket, pulling each other down, both of them could have seen the weaknesses they had in each other to form a powerful friendship, and they could have changed a lot of things, because people in town would probably been surprised that they were such good friends, and they could have defended and took up for each other. And you see those friendships. We can be better friends than worse friends and than each other enemy.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I also think that if we take the time to humble ourselves and to walk in humility, then we won't have to worry about God humbling us, because his humbling us looks a lot like humiliation. And until we take it upon ourselves and make those necessary steps. So Joyce is really, really toxic at this point in the series, and that toxicity is just not good. Yvonne has enough going on than to have to deal with Joyce, and even when you do feel like she still has that respect for Joyce, and she's allowing her to talk to her like that. I say the story of my life: when you're kind, and when people see that kindness in you, they will have a tendency to run you over. But she's gonna catch her just right, and she's gonna let her have it, and her life is gonna forever be changed. And when Yvonne give it to her.
I don't know. I don't even know if Yvonne gonna mention it to her, because I don't think she want to hurt her. I really do think she want a friend. I think Joyce want a friend, but at the same time,
she gonna get her.
no, that secret gonna get her. That secret gonna get her. That gonna hurt her. It's gonna keep her mouth shut.
That's hurting enough right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's enough to close some doors, close some mouths, close your eyes, close your legs, just close everything.
And it makes me feel bad for Joyce. When I remember the miscarriages.
Going out of business.
Are you gonna have a going out of business sale?
Yeah. Going out of business sale. Everything must go.
Woo.
Yeah, everybody gonna be sipping tea talking about it in the neighborhood too, baby.
Yeah, they ain't gonna even go to church.
Come out the house.
Look, the sales gonna go up in the store. They gonna go by there just
because she been bragging about how upstanding he is in the community, how everybody admires him. They look up to him for just being a hardworking person, just being a good person. I mean, he dressed the part, even though they say he look like an undertaker every time they see him. He dresses the business like, and so it's just gonna be. But then when his secret comes out, some other secrets may come out, because it may be something that has occurred in everybody, something similar to that in other people's households. So you never know how it may free some other people.
But you know the words down to those students. Students gonna come to school and say what their parents been saying at home.
Oh, they already did that about Joyce, right? Because that little boy said, my mama said. Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's just like your behavior not only affects you, it affects the people around you. So when you're doing things that you think that you're going to get away with, and you're doing it in private or in secret, just remember that those things that you do not only causes embarrassment and shame for you, they're going to affect the people around.
Because her parents told her.
But have you noticed, like, when people get everything that they think they want in life, they do be prideful. They get so prideful where she's unteachable. You would have thought that she would have been teachable. So that's why I said it's like, I don't have much to say about her, because we see her being to a point of just so ignorant, where she's ignorant to everything, because she's only thinking about her own selfishness and own happiness, and she's not paying attention to the same way people have hurt her. She's hurting somebody else. I don't agree with what she's doing. I honestly don't. But I just feel like her revelation is coming because we already see her as brewing.
And
But I don't want
somebody in the book said Joyce was so desperate to marry, she would have married a baboon if she had.
I feel like Florida Evans when you said that.
He's not
You know, it's a lot of women like Joyce. You know, I mean, I have had people talk about other young ladies and their baby daddies, and all their kids had different daddies. You know, you did the same thing. You know, you might be older, you forgot that you did the same thing. You know, and unfortunately, it's just like real life. You know, the author has done an awesome job. You know, with these characters, and all of us can name an experience where somebody was talking about another person and they did the exact same thing. The exact same thing.
I agree.
I'm
And that's
just
what I'm
gonna
saying.
continue to keep my mouth off, folks. Everything ain't always all good.
It's not, everything is not always what it seems. And some people be smiling, but deep down inside they be hurting. And as you know, we never know what people going through. And it don't make us perfect because we sitting here elaborating on things. Because man, these are characters in the book. So please don't hold us against us. We voicing our opinion, but it does not make us seem like we better. And the dynamic is we strong enough women to come together and discuss these issues because we want better for ourselves and for our community. So please don't take it so to heart, even if you see us smile or whatever, because this is a book. And hopefully you learn something from this book where you don't look down on another person and where you do be mindful how you speak to others, because it doesn't make it right. You cannot right or wrong, and that person has to want to see that change within themselves. And I know we all guilty of a lot, and I do like how they did both of the characters in the book, especially the women. It shows you how these women are pitted so much against each other they can't realize they could have been great friends to each other. And then the heart part about Joyce is you hurting somebody the same way you have been hurt. And that's why I said, well, she's so ignorant, because why would you do to another woman what everybody in the community has done to you? She is guilty of that. She's very much is, and it does not make it right. It doesn't. So we're going to close, you guys. Thank you so much for logging on. And does anybody want to close out with anything, or just, you know, give shout outs or show anyone some love, or just words of empowerment?
I'd like to do a shout out to all our fans, our viewers that's watching. Continue to watch, continue to comment and express your views. And we're not giving a life lesson to live by. We're only doing a book.
All right. Thank you,
Be
guys.
blessed this week. Be blessed this week. Bless miracles and blessings. Miracles and blessings.
All right now. Thank you guys so much for logging on. We're going to conclude the book next week, and hopefully we do have some more information and we see how it truly ends, and maybe it will be a shift. But if not, we're going to look into getting part 3 to see, because for me, I really want to see how these characters change.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Thank you, guys.